Hi, I'm David Maldo, back with another tutorial on how to use OBS to add impact to your video meetings with apps like MS Teams and Zoom. In our last few videos, we went over how to use some plugins with OBS to add additional features, like the ability to move things across your screen in live meetings. In today's video, we're going to go over ways to control OBS to produce your video streams. To show why this is important, let me demonstrate how it looks if you do things the wrong way. Let's open up a presentation. Okay, hi, my name is, hold on a second. Let me click on OBS. Here we go. David Maldo, and I'm here to do a presentation on, one sec. There we go. Here we go, on how to present with impact online. So let me, yes, okay, and it's great to be here. Okay, so you could see what's wrong with that. Let us try to do it the right way. Hi, I'm David Maldo, and I'm here to do a presentation on how to have more impact online. It's great to be here. Let's take a look at our slide deck, and I want to thank you all for being here. Okay, obviously that's a lot better. The goal is to have it look like you have an invisible producer. You don't want to distract from your presentation by obviously looking like you're controlling things and producing your stream. Now, there's actually a lot of ways to control OBS. It's been out for a few years, it's open source, and streamers are creative. In this video, we'll go over the 3 basic ways to control OBS: hotkeys, using a device, and using a bot. I'll show examples of all 3, but before I do, a quick word from our sponsor. Poly has a long-standing relationship with Microsoft over 15 years, and this relationship keeps going strong to this day. Now with Microsoft Teams, Poly has a variety of great quality products that work flawlessly in Microsoft Teams meeting and calling. As a daily Poly Gear user, I'm using a Poly Studio P15 for today's tutorial, and all the techniques in this video work seamlessly in Microsoft Teams meetings. The P15 has exceptional optics, powerful audio, automatic camera framing, and cutting-edge noise blocking tech, giving you the freedom to move and command the conversation. The sleek bar is simple to set up and is Microsoft Teams certified, which means video callers can expect a certain level of experience when using the camera for MS Teams calls. The Poly Studio P15 is also certified for Teams Rooms for meeting room use, and is an ideal solution for a focus room for 1 or 2 people. In fact, Poly has a range of conferencing cameras certified for Microsoft Teams Rooms, all providing automatic camera framing technology. Besides the focus room kit with Studio P15, they have the small room kit with Poly Studio R30, medium room kit with the Studio USB bar, and large room kit with Studio E70 camera. To learn more about the Poly conferencing cameras available for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Teams Rooms, and to see my full review of the Studio P15, check out the links in the description. Okay, so here we are in OBS, and let's start where every streamer starts, with hotkeys. OBS has pretty good hotkey support without needing any plugins or anything. It's just in the menu. Just go to the settings menu down here, and let me move this over so you can see me. And on the left, there's a tab for hotkeys. Now at the top of the list, we see some basic stuff: start streaming, start recording, some, overall OBS controls. It's when we scroll down that we start seeing the good stuff. This is my scene, main scene. And this is my second scene, main scene with lower third. And within the scene, these are my sources in that scene and my filters. So this is my stuff already set up for me to put in hotkeys. So let's keep it basic. Switching to my main scene, I'll make that a 1. Switching to my second scene, I'll make that a 2. And let's toggle one of my sources. To show and hide my LTV logo, I'm going to make it 3 for both of that. That should toggle it. So we hit OK. So now if I press the 2, keep an eye on the scenes over there, it should switch to main scene with lower third. There we go, and my lower third pops up. And if I press the number 1 button, it should switch back to my main scene. And if I hit the 3 button, it should toggle this source on and off. And you can see in my source list, it toggling the indicator for turning on that source on and off. So pretty simple, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm controlling my scenes and sources. Now, I did say that this is where every streamer starts. I didn't say it's where every streamer winds up. There's a few issues with using hotkeys. One is that it's a lot to remember. At one point I had an Excel sheet with all of my different hotkeys. Another is, if you're using other programs, the hotkeys might do things in that program. If I have PowerPoint and I'm sharing my PowerPoint and doing a presentation, I might hit a hotkey to move something in OBS and I might shut down my PowerPoint. So hotkeys work great, but they do have their limitations. The next method we're going to discuss is devices. And there's a number of devices that have integrations with OBS, but anyone who's been streaming knows what I'm about to show you. Here it is, the Elgato Stream Deck. They have a smaller version with less buttons, a bigger version with more buttons, and the buttons control things in OBS. And actually there's infinite buttons. You could have folders. A button could be a folder with more buttons. I have buttons that switch the profile to have completely different buttons. This thing has a lot of power and you could do a lot with it. In order to show you how it really works, let me show you its Windows control panel. Okay, so there's the Stream Deck app, and it's pretty cool actually. It mirrors what you see on the app. So if I switch the profile here, the buttons switch there as well. Or if I switch to a different profile in here, the buttons switch on the Stream Deck. The next thing you'll notice is it's not just controlling OBS. If you look over, I have a few categories of things it can control. It has Zoom, it has PowerPoint, and there's a list actually of, I think probably over 100 integrations. This can control a lot of things. You can use it to control Windows. You could have it, I use it to open up programs. I have a startup screen where I have a bunch of programs that I open. But for now, we're going to be using the OBS Studio integrations, particularly the scene and source visibility. But first, let's create a new profile so we don't mess up any of our existing buttons. So, new profile. And they always start with a welcome button that opens up a browser to Elgato. To learn more, we can just delete that. And what we do is we just take the scene button, drag it over, and this is where it gets cool. It's integrated with OBS, so if I click down here, here's a list of all our scenes. So I want this one to go to main scene, and I can title it main scene. And we can make another button, and this one will make main scene with lower third, and I'll just call this lower third. And you can put in custom icons. These are pretty basic icons, but you can put in any graphic you want. And let's just do one more, source visibility, and we'll pick our scene, our main scene, and we'll pick our source, the logo. So this should toggle the logo. So now, as I was doing that, the buttons appeared on my Stream Deck. If I press the second button, it goes to the lower, brings up the lower third, and on the Stream Deck, that button lights up. If we go back to this one, it goes back to our main scene, and this last button should toggle. Here we go. Our logo. You can see there's obviously a lot more that can be done with the Stream Deck, but just the power to have the buttons in front of you to be on whatever scene you want and to pop up your sources without struggling to look at OBS and grabbing your mouse, it adds a lot of value to your stream. Elgato is not a sponsor, but I recommend this device. The last method we're going to talk about is bots, and unlike devices, there is no one bot that everyone uses. It's kind of the Wild West out there. There's a lot of really good bots. See, the thing is, a lot of streamers know how to code, and some of them wind up making a bot just for their own channel, sharing it with their friends, and the result is we have a lot of bots that are out there in various stages of development. So I'm going to show you a bot as an example, Streamer.bot, and I do recommend it. I've been using it, it's pretty powerful, but do your own research and see what other bots out there and make sure you have the one that works best for your stream. So here we have the Streamer.bot interface, and you can see this bot happens to look like an IT tool. Some of them look more like consumer apps, some of them look more like IT tools, depending on what they do and who they're designed for. And this one, you could also see it's got a lot of tabs, it's got a lot of settings. I can make a lot of tutorials to explain everything this does, but for now I just want to keep it simple. I want to show how we can use it to do an action to control something in OBS. So I'm in my Actions tab, I right-click to add an action, and we'll call this one Start Prezzo. We'll do it when we start our presentations. And this is where it gets powerful, because in our action we can have sub-actions. Instead of just pressing a button that does one thing, or hitting a hotkey that does one thing, we could have a whole series of things. I have some for my streams that have just 20, 30 events all in a row. We'll keep this one pretty simple. Let's start by adding a sub-action, and again, there's a lot it could do. You could have code in here. It's a lot, but go to OBS and we're going to go to set scene, set active scene, and it's integrated with OBS. It sees my scenes. So I want to go to my main scene in case I'm on another scene. The next thing I want to do is add another action, which is a delay. Let's just add a 5-second delay before it does anything. Okay. Then let's add another, go to another scene, add sub action, OBS, set scene, and go to our main scene with lower third. Then let's add another delay, another 5 seconds. And finally, one more OBS set scene. Again, trying to keep it simple. There's a lot of things we could do, but let's just go to our PowerPoint small right camera. Now that we have our action set up, there's a lot of ways we can trigger it. We could use a hotkey, we could use a voice command, we could use a button on the Stream Deck. There's a bunch of things we could do. We could even have, in some streams, we could have chat control it. Someone in chat could type a command during a live stream and control it. But for now, let's just use a hotkey to keep it simple. So we right-click to add a new hotkey, and let's make it Alt-1. Select our action, start the presentation, click OK. All right, so now Alt-1 is assigned to the Start Presentation action, and the Start Presentation action has all these steps. So let me just move to another scene here so that it could start us. And when I hit Alt-1, it should, doing it right now, take us to our main scene, wait about 5 seconds, and then bring up, there we go, our lower third, wait another 5 seconds, and then take us to our PowerPoint. Now we're really talking about some hands-free production. After that initial button press, things just started happening, and I could just be giving my presentation without touching anything. Even more, I could have, instead of a hotkey, I could have made that a voice command. Imagine if I'm in my main scene and just say, okay, let's start the presentation, and everything just starts happening. So now, it's funny, I want to go back to my main scene, and the way I set everything up, I don't have a quick button to do it. I'm going to have to do it the old way, grabbing my mouse, looking down. All right, hopefully that's the last time any of us will do that. I'm going to try to get my button set up, and you get yours set up as well. I hope this has been helpful. Again, this is just a start. There's a lot of ways to control OBS. There's a lot of things out there. But basically, start with your hotkeys. When you're ready, get yourself your Stream Deck. You need a Stream Deck. And when you're really ready, move on to bots. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.